Chinatown got a whole dark side to it that y'all don't know about, and I'm about to put y'all on. I was born in Brooklyn, right? But I grew up right here in Chinatown. Like 2-3 years old, I saw my first body out here, just laying on the street. Chinatown is right here, but Little Italy is right here, like right across the street.
Street right here, Canal Street. That's where I used to walk to go to school, to go to my mom's work at the factory where she sews her clothes. Across the street from that precinct, there was this little gift shop, and they had this Dragon Ball cards. And I was really into Dragon Ball cards at the time. You could put a quarter in this little machine and you get a Dragon Ball card. And the best one you get was the one with the sticker, and you peel it and there's a prism inside. But anyway, she had a lot of prisms like right there, and I tried to steal one. I walked out the store and walked away, and I was pretty much near the corner, and then she came out and was like, "Hey, you, come back, you still." And I, felt bad, and I walked back and just gave it back to her. They let me go because I was young, but yeah, she called the cops right from there. And yeah, kids, don't be stealing. I went through a lot of karma, lost a lot of things. Don't steal, I'm telling you.
Street right here, Born to Kill, right? They was mad because the police had locked one of them, the leader, up, and they sent like 3 dudes over here and threw a grenade, threw 2 grenades in one of the cop cars, and the cop was in this shit. The street that my gang was on, right down the block. My father, he was a part of one of the biggest gangs in Chinatown, and he had a really big position in the gang. The name of his gang was Flying Dragons. When I was probably like 3 years old, we parked right here. My mom was trying to get into this parking spot, and somebody else was trying to get into the parking spot, and they started had an argument. You know what I'm saying? So the dude hit my mother's car. There was like.
But tell me why when I saw this video, I found a picture. I quickly recognized the background. I was like, hey, I got a picture that I took right here. And I think this was when I was about 16.
They beat this dude up, they hit him with a brick. I don't know if they killed him or not, but I know he was fucked up. So right here, all of this shit was Flying Dragons, right? And this street right here was home of the Ghost Shadows. Ghost Shadows and the Flying Dragons were like arch nemesis.
Yeah, I would hear about these gangs when I was in like elementary, 5th, 6th grade, and they kind of scared you, I knew about the Flying Dragons and the Ghost Shadows, and these are the streets that you're walking all the time. I didn't know what streets they ran. I'm only hearing about this today. But back then, it was like a question mark. Where would these guys be? I'm just trying to get to school, go to work. I'm trying to have fun, go to the arcade. That's what you did back then. We didn't have the iPhones or Androids or a lot of video games to play. The place to play games is you got to go to the arcade, or you got to have money and be able to afford a Nintendo or Super Nintendo or Genesis. You know what I'm saying? That's what was going on at the time. Nowadays, kids are different. They're more spoiled, but they're still ungrateful.
Right? As a kid, I couldn't come to the street because this was like the home of my father's arch nemesis, Ghost Shadows. You feel me? But my aunt lived over here. You know what I'm saying? My aunt lived in that building right here. 1, 2, 3. And they used to have to sneak me over here because the gang shit was real. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't, they'd fuck around and try to like kill me or some shit because of my father. So I used to have to hide, sneak, wait for certain times to come into my aunt's 2nd floor. This is how serious this shit was. The gangs that have its own apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 apartments, and that's where all the gang members would stay at. They would bring in mad underage kids. I joined that shit when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, all types of ages. And they would have the kids commit the murders, shootings, and all the wild shit, you know what I'm saying? Because the kids wouldn't get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't do the same time that as an adult would. So they used to have me wilding the fuck out, coming out of this gang apartment. You see all these businesses right here? This whole street of businesses? All of these shits was paying extortion money. They would all have to pay. They would pay their rent, they would pay their water bill, their electricity bill, but along with that, they would have to pay the rent to the gangs, you know what I'm saying? So we used to collect money from all of these stores, and our job was to protect this shit, you know what I'm saying? So nobody from Lower East Side, nobody else could come on this block and fuck with this block because the gangs will make sure this shit was in check, you know what I mean? So we used to just spread out and just watch the block. We used to also have they put cameras on this shit. Not the police, but we put our own cameras on the street. We could see who's coming in the block, on the block. We was on our shit. Every fucking single restaurant, every single place here, we used to eat there for free. I was upstairs coming down to this restaurant right here, right? And the restaurant, all the gang members, it was after everybody finished watching the street, and we was all in the restaurant eating. And when I walked right out the door, somebody came running towards me and was like, yo, the other gang, the rival gang from Mott Street was coming on the block.
Damn, when I watched this video, I noticed that blue store that he's talking about used to be the restaurant that I was talking about on my China to Chinatown My Life video. That's crazy. That's the store I was trying to find a photo of, but I couldn't because it's not there anymore. It's this blue store right here that this gang that he's talking about is probably the Ghost Shadows that was there doing the robbery when I was just 8 years old with my mom, and we was hiding under that table. That's crazy.
The day I was a part of this gang, I watched somebody die right here, where that cop car is, and he was a person. His name was Bo, right? And that day, he used to look out for me. Like when I first went into the gang, he deep, like past Little Italy and all that shit. But from right here, these 4 or 5 blocks, this was in Chinatown. This was all Ghost Shadow territory. My father was a part. Yo, what up, baby? Yo, my father was a part of the Flying Dragons. Like I said, he was a leader. And when I grew up, you know, I wanted to be the complete opposite of him, you know what I'm saying? So I went and joined the rival gang, the Ghost Shadows. This block right here was a whole nother group of Ghost Shadows. So this block was one set of Ghost Shadows, and this block was another set of Ghost Shadows. And we had mad beef. That right there, right here, was the most dangerous block in the whole Chinatown, and it's just one block. And this is the block that I grew up on. This is the block that my father ran on. This is the block where the notorious Flying Dragons was at. And this shit, I'm telling you, was crazy. People were scared to death to come on this block. Nobody wanted parts of this block. This spot right here, Chinatown Fair. This shit been here since I was a kid. And it's crazy because as a kid, I always wanted to come here and play video games. I always wanted to come here and play video games because it was the only arcade in the whole Chinatown. But I couldn't come here because this was home of the Ghost Shadows. When I joined the Ghost Shadows, I was able to come here. You know what I mean? We had shootouts and this shit. Like, you know, I seen somebody, we chased somebody out of here, you know what I'm saying? And he got stabbed to death. I didn't stab him to death, but somebody went to jail for that shit already. That's why I could talk about that. That was like in the 90s.
They would have all these nice clothes and toys. Man, that's what made me really, you know, wanted to go take stuff, which in the long run, like I said, ain't a good idea, man. I hope y'all learned a little something. I hope y'all like the video. I hope y'all support, push the like button, subscribe, listen to my music too. Because, man, I've come a long way, man. Thank y'all for the support, for coming all the way this way on this video. Much love to y'all. Peace.